We're leading, just came out 2 minutes ago, 2 polls. We're leading in New Hampshire. We're sort of leading all over the place. It's a great honor.
There's Donald Trump talking about the polls, final days of the campaign. Jason Miller, Senior Communications Advisor for the Trump team, with us here in studio. And nice to see you. I'm going to put the map in motion, and we'll see if you agree or disagree or where, depending on where you go for votes. Okay, now here's the total, 270 of what you need. She's at 201, he's at 164. So let's just see right now about this blue wall for Hillary Clinton. It's Wisconsin, it's Michigan, it's Pennsylvania. If she goes there, she's at 247, Jason. And then is it Florida? That would give her the presidency. Is it Virginia in connection with maybe a Colorado? That would put her at 269. Does she pick up a Florida? That puts her easily over 270. The point is, she has a number of paths. And when you're at Trump Tower and you see this, you think about what?
Well, as does Mr. Trump, and I'm going to show you why, if you're a Trump supporter, why you're excited going into this final 4-day stretch. First of all, I'd point out that the red states were keeping red. So as we talk Arizona, as we talk Georgia.
Okay, so I'll tick those off as you talk about them. Okay, you're saying Arizona and Georgia.
Yes, we're going to keep the red states red. We've seen the numbers move in excellent direction. Early voting and absentees are looking very good. Mr. Trump's doing everything that he needs to in those states. So our primary pathways, we talk about how we're going to get there. Yeah. We talk about the key swing states of Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio.
All right, let me just tick those, okay? So Ohio, Florida, and North Carolina.
Yep.
And right now, Jason, you're at 253. You're still behind.
So the other state that I'd point to, and Mr. Trump really isn't getting enough credit as he should for this one, the state of Iowa, a state that's gone blue the last couple of cycles. But Mr. Trump, we're very confident. New polling out today showing that Mr. Trump is up by 3 points in Iowa. We feel very good about
that. Okay, now you're at 259.
The numbers.
Where does your argument go next?
The state of Nevada, where we're going to be back to this weekend. Early numbers look very good for Mr. Trump. We're ahead of the pace for where the ticket was 4 years ago. Internal polling, external polling, all looking good. Even when your rival networks had a poll out this week showing Mr. Trump ahead by 6 points in Nevada.
Okay, well, you know, Democrats are bragging about Clark County, okay?
Well,
they feel really good in Nevada, but okay, I'll give that to you, and now you're at 265. Where else do you go?
The state of Maine, which actually splits up their electoral votes based on the congressional district. We're confident that we're going to get the electoral vote coming out of Maine's 2nd congressional district.
Which is in the north.
Yep.
So largely rural.
So that would be one electoral
vote. So now you're at 266.
Now we're at 266. This is where the fun starts. And this is where, if you look at where Mr. Trump's campaign is now, as opposed to where we were 2 weeks ago, we're in very good shape and we're very optimistic. We talk about this blue wall. Let's first and foremost, let's go. Now we need to talk about one state. I think Mr. Trump will do well and power through and get a whole bunch of wins here. But what we need to show are our number of pathways, and this is where it's grown. Look at the state of New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes. We believe that yesterday 3 new polls.
Can I show you something? Yep. All right, New Hampshire. This is what we got overnight. Boston Globe. He leads by 0.4% in that poll. You put all the polls together, flip it one time, guys, for the Real Clear average in New Hampshire. Trump's up 1.5 points. That's the case you're making now, correct?
The blue wall is crumbling, and it starts right there in New Hampshire. We're going to see in the Eastern time zone these returns coming in. Mr. Trump will be in New Hampshire. I believe we're going to be there 3 more times today, and then 2 more times before the election. You talk about New Hampshire. That's one pathway. A couple other states that I'll point to. The state of Colorado. We show the race as being a dead heat. Colorado is now a mail-in only state, similar to Washington and the state
Not entirely, but largely.
Almost entirely. You can still go show up on election day and turn yours in, so there is time for people to go and deliver.
Okay, let me just show our viewers in Colorado what we're seeing, okay? In Colorado, if this is right, not a whole lot of polling out of the Rocky Mountain State. 39 Clinton, 39 Trump. Put all the averages together for Colorado. Again, not a lot of polling, but she would have the edge based on what we're seeing so far. But just shy of 43%. Continue.
But it's tight. We're showing it a dead heat race. In the top 10 counties in the state, of 7 out of those 10 counties, the Republican ballots return are higher than the average for the others, for Democrats and for independents. So we're seeing the growth there, especially over the past 4 or 5 days, ever since her bombshell scandal last week. Colorado's really picked up for ballots returned. Let me stay out west for one moment. Quickly. One other state, the state of New Mexico. This is a state that has solidly been described as being blue. We show it as us being slightly ahead. I believe Mr. Trump is going to win the state of New Mexico, and this is one that Democrats, I think, fell asleep on. And don't just listen to me. Hillary Clinton is back on TV advertising in New Mexico because they're worried that they're going to lose it.
Okay, now we've got Democrats coming up in 30 minutes, okay? But you're talking Colorado, which would put you well over 270, okay, if that scenario plays out. But what they're going to argue in 30 minutes is that North Carolina is looking very good for them. Charlotte, Raleigh, if you lose North Carolina, that's just one state now, Jason, you're back below the mark, even if we're giving you the edge in every argument you're making right now.
Let me tell you why we're excited, because now that we have a number of different pathways. Look at the state of Pennsylvania, which is largely election day only voting. Mr. Trump will be there today. He'll be there 2 more times before the polls close on Tuesday. This is a state where, again, don't just listen to what we're saying. The fact that the Clintons are doing their election eve party with the Obamas, with everybody in Philadelphia, they're worried about the state of Pennsylvania. We believe that we can beat her in Pennsylvania on election day. And if we do that, even if your Democratic strategist coming on makes the case that maybe one of these states they can pick away, if Mr. Trump wins Pennsylvania, he's the president of the United States.
You're in Manchester, New Hampshire on Monday night, the site of the first primary victory, and she has chosen Philly. Jason, thanks for coming in today.
All right, thank you,
From the Trump team, we'll see who's right. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
All right, Martha.